buses which used both the Queen's and the Albert bridges. Here a trolleybus heading for the Queen's Bridge passes the Burdington Laird steamer to Glasgow at Donegal Quay. The number 17 en route for Dundonald heads over the Albert Bridge. Routes 18 and 19 were short workings along the Newtonards Road as far as the Knock Road. 18 was via the Queen's Bridge, 19 via the Albert Bridge. This is the turning circle at Knock Road. Routes 16 and 17 served Dundonald. Buses on 16 route used the Queen's Bridge, 17s went via the Albert Bridge. This is a short working to the Hollywood Arches, turning into Grampian Avenue. The conductor hops off the bus to set the overhead wires for the left turn at the bottom of the street. Several routes operated up the Belmont Road. Belmont Drive, seen here, was a turning circle for some workings. Others carried on up Massey Avenue to the gates of Stormont, where the conductor sets the overhead to enable the bus to return towards the city. These routes also offered what must be the most spectacular turning circle in British trolleybus history, as number 22s and 23s continued up to Parliament Buildings at Stormont on Mondays to Fridays. On Saturday and Sunday, as we saw in the previous sequence, most of the services terminated at Stormont Gates. Stormont was specially built to house the Northern Ireland Parliament and was opened by the Prince of Wales, later Edward VIII, on November the 17th, 1932. John Laird filmed these scenes at the end of the very bad winter of 1963, and reminders of the heavy snows of that year are still to be seen on the grounds of Stormont. Trolleybus services to Stormont began on March the 26th, 1942, and were withdrawn along with the services to Dundonald on April the 1st, 1963. At 23 heads back to the city along the Hollywood Road. We take our leave of the once extensive network of trolleybus routes which served East Belfast as a number 17 heads towards the city along the Albert Bridge Road. This is the city centre in 1968, near the end of trolleybus operations. The corporation had decided to phase out the trolleybuses and had purchased a large number of Daimler diesel buses as their replacements. These views show part of the overhead in Donegal Square North. At the peak of trolleybus operations, there were 6 sets of parallel wires here. Trolleybuses are powered by electricity and got their supply from trolleys running along a pair of overhead wires. In the 1920s and 1930s, public service vehicle regulations restricted the size of motor buses. Trams and trolleybuses were governed by the laws relating to tramways and light railways, and were exempt from the regulations imposed on buses. This is part of the overhead in Castle Street, used by Falls Road buses. These unusual shots show the business end of a trolleybus. This is Haymarket Depot. Driver Walter Weir takes bus number 212, a BUT vehicle delivered in January 1954, on a trial run to test a problem with the overhead nearby. Haymarket was Belfast's main trolleybus depot. This is the view had by the driver as he takes his trolleybus into Cromack Street. An overhead repair crew arrive on the scene, and consultations between the driver and the crew identify the fault. And the bus heads back to Haymarket Depot. This is one of several AEC-built tower wagons used to repair the overhead wires in Belfast. Almost before the vehicle stops, the crew are out and climbing up to the platform. The safety catch is released. And the overhead platform is cranked